right, we might be working here. Sweet. All right, so here we are. We're about to take out a really cool bike from Triumph, and I'm here with Mike.
Hey.
Right, so we're going to do a little comparison. We're headed off to the Dragon, and of course we were at one of our favorite places, Buckstars. Wait, no, Starbucks. Right, so we're here at Starbucks getting a little coffee and fueling up ourselves, and then we're going to take this up to the Dragon and run it down the Dragon, maybe do some filming, and so there you go. So Mike will give you his thoughts after riding this beast here. So.
Yep. Yeah, anxious to ride it after riding my GSA for so many years, just to see how it compares.
All right, let me show you what I'm riding over here, okay? Oh, look at this lovely beast, okay? All right, so yep, we're gonna head off now, and then we'll let you know what we think as we're up in the Dragon. Hopefully the day is an awesome one. Looks great so far. All right, we good?
Yep.
So here we are. Last time you saw us, we were at Buckstars. Mike calls it Starbucks. And we were getting ready to take out the Tiger 1200, the new 2022, and get his thoughts, share my thoughts coming from our perspectives on what the bike, you know, what it felt like, what it did, impressions really. So the purpose of this video is not to go into too much detail, but to give you sort of a comparison on what our perspective and what we ride, and how that Tiger kind of was different from what we ride on an everyday basis. So I'm gonna let Mike go first. He'll tell you what he rides, and an amazing rider. So I'll turn it over to Mike.
Yeah, just some random thoughts, really. I was a little torn when Scott asked me to come out with him of which bike to ride. I've got a couple in the garage that are really, I guess, on both sides of the Tiger 1200. I've got a 1200 GS Adventure and Husky Norden 901 that I've had for a few months. So got a couple months experience on the Norden and several years experience on the GS. But I brought the GS thinking it would be the best comparison. And jumping off of it and onto the Tiger, first thought is that the Tiger is really light. We'd ridden the 1200 several years ago in a demo ride, the previous edition, and this one is just so much lighter. They've done a great job re-engineering the weight distribution on it, and you can definitely tell. The engine, yeah, really gave the bike a lot of character. It's tall compared to my GS. Probably not apples to oranges. My GS, I've got the seat in the low position, and on the Tiger we didn't bother to adjust it, so maybe a wash there. But
all right, so would you say that the Tiger kind of has that low end now and mid-range and maybe in the upper? They done a good job with that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. The change in the firing degree there really made a difference down low. It used to be kind of revvy, would rev out really well. I mean, 1200 cc's down low is still going to provide a lot of power, but it's definitely changed the character of it.
Right. So I know he mentioned to me, one of the first things was that 270 crank, that whole thing, and it definitely livened it up. I mean, it's much different than he's used to, and for me. So I'll give you my perspective in just a little bit, but for sure. What else? The engine?
Yeah, for sure. And my GS is a 14, so it's, 8 years old now. The technology is definitely not on the same level as the new Triumph. So the technology is, very whiz bang on the Triumph. I like it a lot. Some of it we didn't even get into, but it's got Bluetooth integration and ride modes and adjustable traction control and all those sorts of things.
Crazy suspension adjustment, electronic on
Yeah.
the fly. I mean, right.
Yeah, exactly. The ability to adjust not only the rear preload but the front preload kind of blew me away. I didn't expect that.
So, I mean, we could make a whole nother, video on the bike and all the tech, data and numbers. I mean, but the professionals out there are doing that. So we're just covering our perspective, and I'm blown away. I mean, I'm blown away. So, what else did we talk about? We got the technology, the weights, all the cool things on there.
Yeah, the wheel sizes, the 21 front, the 18 rear. I don't remember, did the previous generation have the same wheel size, or was it?
I don't think so. I think the 21, the 18's new. I believe that is correct. 17, I believe, was on the back.
Right. Well, that opens up a whole new selection of tires for sure.
Shaft drive.
Shaft drive for sure.
Right.
Yeah, and ergonomics. I'm 5'10", and it fit me really well. Really well. I remember the other bike feeling big. This one doesn't feel big to me.
It's tall. Like when I'm behind Mike and I was riding, it is a tall presence. Like he was up high, but it was not wide, right? So it has a presence for sure on the road. I just can't get over that motor. I'll be honest. It wants to be ridden. I mean,
yeah,
right. It's alive.
Yeah, red line at 9.5, I think.
Close to that.
Something like that, and it really, really pulls hard. So,
I guess I'll jump in with the 800. Like you said, the difference between my bike, the 2018 Tiger XCA 800, and this one, if I was looking to upgrade, this would definitely be a serious temptation. I mean, honestly, just the motor, the fact that Mike mentioned the crank order, the unusual firing of it, has livened it up so much that it creates that download torque. I mean, something that we've always wanted on the 800 was to actually hit that throttle and have it jump and go. But on, the 800, it takes a little spinning up, right?
Yep.
But on this bike, it's immediate. It'll pull your arms. It'll give you a rush, and that's just on road mode. And it'll definitely do it on sport mode for sure.
Right.
So the 800, it's an awesome machine, right? It's a little, I'm not going to say boring, but after riding this, it might be. It's definitely awesome, but in a different kind of quiet awesome. And then you've got this one over here that's just wants to beat its chest.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I remember the old 800 motor. I had a previous generation 800, and it's just very linear. It's almost electric, right? The power just doesn't have any big lumps in it. You can probably draw a straight line for the torque curve on it. But this bike is not like that. It's definitely got a lot more character.
Well, I mean, and here we are. You're hearing all kinds of Harleys in the background. We're at Tapico Lodge in our studio, makeshift studio, right today. So we're just kind of giving our comments after riding. We just came off the Dragon. Wasn't too crowded, but my perspective on that bike on the Dragon, it is a lot of fun, but you can get in over your head rather quickly. So if you are not experienced rider or don't feel comfortable with speed and torque, that 1200 is a handful. But if you are experienced, let me flip that around. It is a fun bike, even on the Dragon. I mean, with all the rider aids on there, the mode, sport mode, suspension, dial in your suspension. That bike is awesome. I mean, coming out of the corners and just rolling on, it's going. It's like a freight train. It really is. It's so much and it is forgiving in a sense. So I really didn't notice the shaft drive aspect. I mean, it's super smooth,
Definitely, yeah.
right?
Yeah, gone are the days where a shaft drive bike would just move up and down as you accelerate and let off the throttle. You definitely get nothing like that.
That giant lag is not,
Right.
it just wants to go. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It really is a great bike to ride. You know, on the interstate coming up, you know, we're talking on comms, and it was just like, I could see just, let's just turn around and head south, right? Florida Keys,
Right.
right? Hit cruise control, and I mean, your GS just tracks, your GSA just tracks. It's called a GSA so well, and then that Tiger 1200 just seemed to be tracked just as well.
Yeah, absolutely. On the
Yeah.
road, long distance manners and comfort. Yeah, I give it high marks for sure.
I mean, instead of like on an 800, we're on a long trip, you get blown a little bit, you know, for its weight. I understand that, but this one just wants to be ridden long distance. You can ride up here on the Dragon.
Right.
Just really impressive. I mean, Triumph really.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And the seat is very comfortable too. Exceeded expectations for sure.
But you know, the menu, and it's really not intimidating, I don't think, right? The
It's-
interface.
No, it's very intuitive compared to the Husky. It's very similar. Very similar. They've come a long way in making those things easier to use.
Okay, so easy interface on the menu. I mean, the engine, all the tech, the awesome wheels, right? The Scrambler's got those wheels like the BMW
Right.
spoke kind of wheels.
Right. The spokes come to the edge of the wheel so you can run tubeless. Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Good stuff.
And then that 18 in the rear, 21 in the front, so you got some tire choices, right? Okay.
Yep. Good stuff.
I mean, but I thank you for coming along.
Yeah. No. Thanks for thinking about me. I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Well, until next time, this is you know, low budget films, or what we like to. I don't know what we're going to call this if we make it a series. Maybe average Joe rider. Maybe. All right, we'll think of something. But yeah, it's just our views on the Tiger 1200, and it really is an impressive bike. Triumph, I think, nailed it. If you ride one, compare it to something that you probably have in that mindset of, I could see myself on it. So then if you can, try the Tiger, you know, try something else, and I think you'll be shocked what you come back to.
Yeah. Yeah. Shameless plug for Triumph too. They're really eager to let you ride their products. If you're in the dealership and you express an interest, then they'll make sure you get a ride on one.
For sure. They make some of the best products in the world. Absolutely. So we're very lucky. Thank you again, Triumph, and thank you, Tapco Lodge, for providing our studio. We appreciate that. We'll do a little pan. We'll add that in our. Okay. So we're getting ready to head back. So thanks, Mike.
Yep. Thanks, Scott. Thanks for watching.
All right. See you guys.